Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA197. Make your consumptions and exposures count. Let's get into this. Purify clean water. It's good for you, right? We consume it every day for life, correct? Right? Then why don't we put it into the fuel tanks of our vehicles? Because we know we're not going to get anywhere and we know that we're going to damage the internal components. And before I carry on here, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, click on the bell, and share with those that want to change their life. This is about each and every one of us for longevity. Let's get into this. From stretching to walking to eating to learning to sleeping, make it count. I put emphasis on everything that I do now. Everything that I do, I put emphasis into it, right? And I'm seeing the massive difference in everything, right? And I posted it this week where I want to be better tomorrow than when I was yesterday, and repeat, right? Keep repeating. Be better today than you were yesterday, and keep repeating. And that's what's happening, right? And that's what happens with this transition in this lifestyle. You put emphasis on everything, and then you want to get better at what you were, right? So focus on applying yourself and stop wasting your money, your time, yours, and your loved one's life. Stop wasting yours and your loved one's life with time and money on unnecessary things that your body doesn't need. And when you live that certain lifestyle, mind-boggling the benefits that you get more out of your life. Let's continue. Breathe in, breathe out, meditate, prayers, being at peace with oneself. Okay, let that sink in. Whether sink in right now, whether you're praying, whether you're meditating, or being at peace with yourself, take those moments, and you have them, right? You take those moments and get into a quiet room and just be at peace with yourself. Close your eyes and breathe in, breathe out. When you do that, whether it's prayer and whether it's meditation, it is proven. Okay, scientifically proven. Remember, knowledge, training, and experience based on facts and data by those that have the knowledge, training, and experience that have walked that path. So it is actually proven in studies and in research and so forth that not only does it guide you, but it improves you and it cultivates longevity, right? Those at peace with themselves, those have more longevity. Okay, let's continue here. Remember the telomere? The telomere thing that I did not do too well last week in there, the little drawing. Well, this little telomere, remember, it's a representation of your DNA break strands, right? And the telomeres are the protective tips at the end of your DNA strands, right? I don't want to get into that, but think of this, and I tell this to people when you look at telomere. This is, again, by research, right? The shortening of these telomeres shortens the lifespan. So think of it as a candle. Right? You do not want to fan the flames, correct? Because the more you fan the flame of a candle, the faster it's going to burn, and there goes the candle, correct? You want longevity on your candle. Same thing, it is proven that what you're exposed to, environment-wise, nutrition, activity, and so forth, that it shortens your telomere, shortens your lifespan, right? It shortens your telomere, it shortens your lifespan. COVID. Think of COVID right now, what's happening in the world. Man, the stress levels, the people being isolated, elderly being locked in their rooms. I have a sister, like I'm not kidding you, month upon month upon month, locked in her room or bare minimum activities, etc. She has cancer, the back and forth from the hospital. She has to be isolated every single time. And now that's done, but they still don't have any activities and people can't visit them, right? So all this isolation, this removal of everything that we all know of, COVID, they know by science, when you look at the telomere and the shortening of the telomere, it shortens your lifespan. And that is all caused by exposure and consumption, right? Nutrition and so forth. Think about that, what's going on right now, right? Let's continue here. I podcasted and communicated this before, how you save money. I save money by living this lifestyle. I've been telling this to people. I don't remember the last drive-through I drove through. Like, I do it for my daughters, I do it for my wife and that kind of stuff, and I'll do it through a drive-through. Me personally, in a vehicle, I mean black coffees, right? I do my black coffees. If I do my fat coffee here, but for the most part I do them at the office. But I rarely ever go through a drive-through. Okay, so the amount of money that, and compared to my previous life, por favor, the amount of drive-throughs I drove through it's crazy, right? So now I don't do that. And on top of that, I only eat once a day on average, twice a day on some days, right? Some days I'll do twice a day, and it's mostly on Sundays, but I'll do a fat coffee in the afternoon. But primarily, I feast at night, right? That's what I do. So I only eat once a day and twice a day at max, at most. And I tell people try to eat no more than 3 eating windows, right? But by doing that, you save money, right? But I eat higher quality foods. And I tell people I save money and I eat higher quality everything, right? Money towards nutrition related products. And that's what I do. That money that I save, I buy higher quality food, I buy nutrition products, my supplements and so forth, like every single day. I haven't skipped a beat in a year and a half, and I save money, right? So let's keep going here. Right here. Anonymous. I'm going to get into something here because I was looking at my paper a moment ago, and I want to say something anonymous here. A 5-year reward. There's this, and I want to say anonymous. I went to this function one time, and it was a fitness function, and then I mean for individuals that I mean fit, okay, like I mean the training they were doing was like, man, you're fit doing that training all the time. Think of your CrossFit, think of your functional fitness, think of your hard workouts. I ran marathons before in training, like good training, but combined with everything else, right? With weights and resistance and so forth. So that kind of stuff, I was at this function, and there was a 5-year award awarded to a person that did not miss one day. That person did not miss one day in 5 years. But that person didn't look healthy to me, right? And when I look at that, and I thought to myself about the internal health when I was thinking about that person who got that award, and then the food came, and it all made sense. When that plate showed up, I mean, and again, I still eat my and I don't penalize myself. I eat everything, right? That is natural and real and non-processed kind of stuff. I'm Mediterranean lifestyle, everything pre-1900s that I tell people. I don't try not to touch process at all, right? But this meal that came, I mean, you can have a burger. I can have a lettuce wrapped burger with all the vegetables and etc. And I love it, right? But then you could have your burgers with everything in it, and your sauces and etc. Then your fries and your gravy and your cheeses, and then I mean like that plate of food that came, and I mean the milkshakes. I'm talking about the extras on the extras, the fried wings and the fried everything, man. The meals came, and I feast every night, but I feast on real food. When I saw that plate, it made sense. It absolutely made sense, right? When I saw this person, a 5-year award for never missing a class, then came the food. It made sense to me, all this stuff. Fat-free everything, right? There's fat-free everything out there, and it's full of sugars. Over 80% of all products out there is sugars in processed food and so forth. And that's why, oh, it's fat-free. Yeah, it's fat-free, all right. It'll make you fat. Like critical thinkers and critical thinking. When I was 53, and prior to jumping into this lifestyle on June 3rd, 2019, critical thinking was really starting to happen for me for the last couple of years prior to that. And I mean, and I'm a critical thinker. People say that about me. But when I say I went into critical thinking mode, I mean a deep dive, like DEFCON 5 deep dive into critical thinking. It's mind-boggling, a lot of the stuff, the conversations that I have with myself all the time. And you go into realm and hence where I am today. I've never skipped a beat in a year and a half. So let me read you something what is critical thinking. Critical thinking defined as the intellectual discipline process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and or evacuating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action, right? And I've talked about this where at 53 I started applying critical thinking, and the self-directedness, the self-discipline, the self-monitoring, the improvement that I have in myself, and I look at, I don't want to waste my life, right? I don't want to waste my life, and I put more emphasis on life after I had my daughters, right? I put a lot of emphasis on my life after I had my daughters. It's like you don't want to die because you want to be there for them. And like I told my daughter when she had told me when I was 53, when I was like 350, and she told me that she wanted me to walk her down the aisle. Basically, she was busting my balls and telling me I was fat. That's what she was doing. And I was out of shape. So that critical thinking mode that I was already in, right? And today, and my daughter will tell you that, I told her, I'm not only going to walk you down the aisle, I'm going to walk your children down the aisle. I want to live. I want to make it count, right? So invest in you. I'm going to close this off here. And don't waste being born by shortening your lifespan and following the herd. I wrote this a moment ago. Don't waste your lifetime. You're a gift just to be born. So don't waste that lifetime on basically following the herd, right? Invest in you. Invest in what you consume. Again, make it count. Make it count. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA197.